we really need to align it. It needs to be considered the same type of sale as if the customer was directly in the store purchasing. The first thing that comes to mind, Neil, when we're talking about this, I think back to a retailer who at one point, and again, this is when kiosks first arrived in stores. You'll remember maybe 5 or 8 years ago, there was quite a trend to put an online kiosk in several stores. And it wasn't so much a BOPUS thing or a pickup in store. It was just a chance for the customer to get more accustomed to the corporate website or the company's website, and perhaps order products that the store didn't necessarily carry, but order it online, almost like a special order venue. But in this case, it was ordering online and perhaps having delivered to their home. That led to some serious complications. And I know of a couple retailers in particular where the store teams didn't necessarily embrace the whole concept because they were dealing with the returns. So they were dealing with the bulk of returns, and not just the returns of product that they could put back on the shelf, but returns of product that their volume of store, because perhaps it was a lower volume store, didn't carry in the first place. So now they have a product that has come back as a refund that was purchased online. They can't position it well in their store because it's not necessarily part of their store's planogram. So they have to find a way to deal with it. And then dealing with it then is probably contacting a merchant or buyer at a head office and figuring out how you're going to ship it back to the corporate warehouse. So there's so many complications that turns off the team in the beginning. When it's a slightly different world now. It certainly doesn't seem like there's store teams who don't embrace online. I think they for the most part do. But certainly it has to be smooth from the beginning and iron out the problems quickly. Because otherwise you create that sort of stigma with teams that find this to be more difficult or more of a chore than it would be to just help the customer directly in the store. When in fact, it doesn't have to be. If you think about back to 20, 30 years ago when the internet didn't even exist, you'd walk into some retailers looking for specialty items, whether it was a special part for your car or a book that you wanted to order, and the special order desk or the special order staff would help locate that through a vendor, probably using a lot of microfiche types of things, and finding this order, placing the order, and you come back and pick it up 4 weeks or 8 weeks later. This isn't that different, it's just faster. So if you've ordered online and you want to pick it up in store, I think you should embrace that and consider it a good thing, because now the customer is able to finish their whole journey or their whole project. And what they're going to remember is that you found something for them that was important, and then they're going to come back to you for simpler things. So it's really important at the beginning to make it seamless for store teams. Have a program in place where you try to answer as many questions as possible. Of course, there's going to be new things that come up, and every retailer's size and scope is different. But one of the first things is helping store teams figure out how to deal with returns. And most of the retailers, I've got to say, that I've worked for, and that there was a simple part of the bonus structure for the store team or store manager was just built around the sales. So if you were shipping from store, the store got the sale for it.